Who doesn't love Batman? The Cape Crusader has been an icon for superheroes since the early 90s. Despite not being the least bit super, he truly does hold a very special place in many people's hearts. Now chances are you've heard about Batman's Arkham games. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight are all good examples of the Batman experience. However, you may not know about the most authentic Batman experience ever to be put in a game. And of course, that game is Batman: Dark Tomorrow. The game uses these dramatic and realistic cutscenes to advance the plot. We open with Batman surveying Gotham City, ready to act at any moment.
Later, Pop!
Yeah, thanks for the stuff.
Yeah, especially the cash. No!
And after Batman confronts them in the alleyway, we are then met with our first glimpse of gameplay. And it's terrible. We have a kick and a punch. And almost all basic enemies in the game can be beaten with either 1 or 2 solid back kicks to the face. So fighting isn't a real problem. What is a problem though is that no matter how many times I beat these guys to the ground, they keep standing back up again. As it turns out, whenever we defeat an enemy, we have to use our signature bat cuffs. This would be all well and good, but whenever you use the bat cuffs on someone, a small animation plays of Batman handcuffing the enemy. At least that's what I think he's doing. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but you see this animation every single time you defeat an enemy. And what makes it worse is that sometimes during this animation, the music cuts out for no reason, and just makes the experience of watching Batman rub his cuffs all over criminals just awkward. I shouldn't be too hard about it though. There are some good things in this game. Unlike the Arkham games where character previews are unlocked as you progress through the game, here from the start we are given full previews of who we'll be encountering. There are definitely some good faces here on display, that's for sure. I think Joker's my favorite though. I mean, he's just so happy. So after we take care of the guys in the alleyway, our job isn't done yet. The bat signal is calling us. And it is here that we are introduced to yet another big part of this game: platforming. For whatever reason, this 3D Batman beat 'em up has copious amounts of running, jumping, and climbing, but we are given some trademark Batman gadgets to help us out, including, but not limited to, a bat cable, a flashlight, and a universal tool. I'm not completely sure what Batman uses this last one for, but I'm not completely sure I want to know. We use the bat cable to head over to the bat signal, or at least I try to, and then we meet with Commissioner Gordon, who lets us know there's a gang war happening nearby.
Another turf war. Understood. I'm on it.
Batman does his regular disappearing shit, and next thing you know, we're running through the streets of Gotham, throwing batarangs at people with guns, and avoiding, floor flamethrowers? No time to think about that though. There's only one person who can save Gotham in its time of need, and that is me. Oh, well I died, so that's a bummer. What was that? Hi? Whenever we die, we're taken to this screen, where Batman stands there as we pick a setup for our next game. I'm gonna choose the one with the most health though, because I have a feeling me dying in this game is not gonna be an uncommon problem. Eventually reach a part where the game encourages the last variation of gameplay: stealth. Batman has some smoke bombs, which I found less than helpful. We have 2 types of crouch to sneak around with, but we move at the pace of a snail, so it's better just to run everywhere. And lastly, Batman has a special sneak attack, in which he uses one hand to phase into the neck of his enemies, to cut off blood to the brain of course, and with his other hand, shanks them right in the chest. And this deadly combination can eliminate any oh wait, no, he got right back up, because I forgot to use my bat cuffs. Finally we come across our first boss fight, with Black Mask. And it's terrible.
Get me, Batman. Come get me, Batman.
Black Mask has basically the same moves as us, plus some guns. So after some trial and error followed by some hit and run tactics, we win, and Batman celebrates by ascending to heaven. Yeah, so Robin shows up with some kind of shadow creature.
Well, it looks like we're just in time.
Oh yeah, right on time, Robin. Couldn't have done it without you. You came in here and saved the day. Little shit.
No. Robin, I want you to stay here until the police arrive. Batgirl, I want you to do a sweep of the warehouse district.
Wait, that's
The
Batgirl?
false facers.
Where are her eyes? And also, why does her face look stitched together? Okay, useless and creepy sidekicks aside, we have been informed that Commissioner Gordon has been kidnapped and taken to Arkham Asylum. and to save him we must venture into the sewers. Because apparently running through the sewers is faster than taking a car or a boat or something. Nothing really happens in the sewers. I mean, there's some platforming, and we do fight some giant rats, but nothing crazy. Well, I do say nothing, but I did run into some inhabitants of the sewers. They seem harmless, though.
Death comes to all who enter our terrain, even the famed Batman. Kill.
See? Harmless.
Kill.
At the end of the sewers, we have another boss fight. This time with the villain Ratcatcher.
Batman, what an unpleasant surprise.
And by Ratcatcher, I mean 2 rats. They're like the rats from before, but they're bigger. Batman catches Ratcatcher.
What? I'm not...
Yeah, that looks good.
Robin,
The next area is full of these maze-like prison hallways, which makes mobility extra annoying. The only thing I have a real problem with, though, is how much the enemies in this area like getting hit by Batman. Okay, I've been avoiding talking about this for as long as I could, but I can't hold it back any longer. So chances are you've noticed these Resident Evil-esque camera angles that change every few steps. And if you haven't, take note, because these angles are the absolute worst thing you encounter in this game. You see, whenever the camera angle changes in this game, the character control scheme changes with it. Meaning that with every camera change, Batman will veer off to one side, keep running in one straight direction towards his doom, or just turn around and head back to where he came from. And in tight spaces, it just goes absolutely crazy. Moving you in random directions, making it impossible to go where you want to. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the camera angles in this game are the worst villain Batman has ever faced. And whoever thought this was a good idea is dead wrong. Back at the asylum we come across a doctor that's been locked up by the Killer Croc. And sadly, his ensuing boss fight is just more of the same. Only this time there's water, so you move way slower, and also Killer Croc can just grab you and drown you literally whenever he wants to. So that's fun. The trick is to keep punching, and then you just can't do a single thing. Afterwards, we're able to save that doctor, and she lets us know a bit more about what's actually going on.
Is he? I mean, did you?
Killer Croc has been taken care of. Why was Croc loose?
We don't know. They're all loose.
The Joker?
All of them.
What about Jeremiah Arkham?
All of them.
And what about Commissioner Gordon?
All of them.
After that, we continue through the asylum, fighting inmates who, by far, have the best dialogue in the entire game.
Let's bring him to the boss. I don't know. He is the one who put us in here.
But this time, we've got him outnumbered.
And he doesn't stand the chance. Let's get him.
And eventually we come across the next area, which is completely covered in plants. So, I wonder who the boss in this area is gonna be. And sure enough, Poison Ivy's boss fight is up next. But unlike all the previous boss fights, where it's just kicking and punching the enemy, this time we're kicking and punching a plant, controlled by the enemy. We win the fight and go to the next area, which is frozen this time around. So I wonder who the boss in this area is gonna be. Yeah, subtlety is not this game's strong suit. So instead of wondering what Mr. Freeze's boss fight is like, let's just enjoy this cutscene of a random doctor.
What about the Joker?
Oh, he is...
The Joker is safely locked away in the maximum security wing.
We'll see.
I will not allow you to roam through my asylum unsupervised.
I'm telling you, give me the card.
Not a chance. No.
Go to the next area, fight a boss. Rinse, repeat. I was starting to worry that this was all the game was gonna be. At this point there wasn't even any terrible stealth or bad platforming. Just the same monotonous running through hallways and fighting a boss at the end of them. But then, he showed up. Surely the Joker of all people can make something interesting happen.
I know you weren't behind all this, Joker.
Well, why didn't you tell us, Batman? Well, it doesn't
Where is
matter.
he?
What does is we found Commissioner
Don't worry.
Gordon and finally
He's
saved
been
him.
taken.
Surprisingly, there's no boss fight with Joker. There's no anything. He's there in 1 or 2 cutscenes and then they just get rid of him.
And kidnapping Gordon was just your way of keeping me out of the picture.
Yeah, so even though we saved Gordon from his kidnapping, we're not done yet.
Ra's al Ghul.
I guess he's trying to take over the world or something, but it really does not matter at all. Surprisingly, the setting of the final area is actually slightly interesting. Slightly. There was this cool hang gliding section that was actually kind of challenging and pretty fun. So yay for something good. Right before the final boss fight, we have to take care of a mini-boss. This guy's name is Ubu. Yubu, and his life goal is to waste your time. Now don't get me wrong, most of this game is designed to waste your time, but he is especially good at it. Now after a half hour of doing that, we finally reach the finale of this adventure.
At 24 strategic positions around the globe, devices which, when activated, will detonate, causing enormous explosions. And at last, mankind will have seen the error of its ways, once they have seen the glory of the new world. Finally, after centuries, there will be a bright tomorrow.
The death and destruction that you speak of will only bring about a dark tomorrow.
The ending boss fight is actually vastly different than any previous one. Batman has a sword now. I said the whole thing already. During my first attempt, I actually died fairly quickly. But this game has unlimited continues, so I can always just try again. But wait, what's this now?
Beloved!
Talia.
Father, how could you?
Long last, the planet will be cleansed. Although you will not live long enough to see it, good will have triumphed. So shall it be. All have been purged. Everyone and everything you ever knew is gone, Detective. As you will soon be. Farewell.
What we just saw was the worst ending of the game. Yes, this game has multiple endings. And not just 2 or 3, it has 4 of them. Why? And because I'm curious and also hate myself, I did all 4. The second attempt goes way better, and as a reward, I get the bad end, which is my personal favorite, only because of Batman's reactions in this one.
So shall it be.
After this, I spent about 20 minutes of backtracking and searching for something I'd missed. And finally, after finding a corridor that was hidden by one of the stupid
camera angles,
I found what I'd missed. In this control room, you're supposed to use your universal tool. Yeah, remember that thing? We finally get to use it for something. By hacking into the missile. The similarities to Arkham are not lost on me, although it is a lot more tedious this time around. So now if we get back to the final boss fight, we can get the last 2 endings. If you let yourself lose this time around, you get the not as bad ending, which is pretty much the bad ending, just delayed a couple hours.
The intrusion, my lord. But the weapon system.
Yes?
It has been sabotaged. It is no longer operational.
Surprise.
Bask in your glory while it lasts, Detective. It is only a momentary victory. How long will it take to reverse the damage?
We can have the machines operational in 17 hours.
Excellent. You have bought the world mere hours, nothing more.
Okay, enough fooling around. We disarmed the bomb, cuffed every enemy, and seen all the creepy cutscenes this game has to offer. Let's beat this guy and see the best possible ending.
Master.
A self-destruct system. He'll kill us all.
We shall meet again.
Out! Everybody out! Now!
It's over. Ra's al Ghul has been defeated. It's all over. For now. Oracle, I'm coming home.
Batman Dark Tomorrow is not a good game. It's not even a good Batman game. The only thing that managed to keep me consistently entertained were the cutscenes. And that's only because they range from hilarious
Guess again, Batman.
Just straight up horrifying.
Would have been funny though if I'd. No, we'll save that for another time, won't we? It's playtime now!
Despite being a sad attempt at a dramatic Batman story, it's kind of heartwarming to know that this game led to greater things, and even some pretty enjoyable moments for me. I mean, I'm never gonna play this game again, but that still counts for something, right? Hey there, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing if you're new. But above all else, I just want to thank you for watching.